So find somewhere you want to stand. You know, think of the feet about inner hip width apart. So when you hear me cue that, you know, you're just thinking of these hip bones, right? Feet about under there, right? Mountain pose, or that's what we call this pose. You know, there's more than one way to do it. So think of finding a place where you can build a sense of both rooting and rising, right? We want to think of every pose being comprised of a commitment to be grounded, but also a commitment to rise up and away from the earth, right? So a recognition that we are both here and that we are both choosing to step into the world energetically and physically. Right? Take a few big breaths. Notice how they arrive in the body, right? Some of us are going to notice breath finds the full body, the whole torso expands. Right? And some of us are going to notice that it's either just the abdomen or maybe just the heart that fills. And maybe don't alter the breath just yet. Right? Find mostly something that allows you to land and arrive and be present as we begin here. Let's take a few more big breaths in and out. And one more. And so on your next inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Extended mountain. Try not to let the shoulders rise too much here. Gaze can follow the thumb. Stay here. Take a couple more breaths. Now find the sense of lengthening the whole body, and also maybe finding more length in the breath. See if you can reach deeper into the body here. Ribs expand, maybe abdomen as well. Right? Good. Get a little longer. Inner elbows lifting. Yeah, one more big breath in. And then soften the knees and fold forwards here. Good. Take a couple breaths. So bend the knees as deep as you need to. Notice how the back body wants to find space. The sense of pouring the crown of the head towards the earth. Okay, maybe a little shifting from side to side, but make it really gentle. So almost like the body's being swayed rather than you actively trying to move the body here. Good. Another big breath in and out. Good. And then soften the knees deeply here and just roll up through the back body to standing, right? Slow curl up. Extend the arms up and overhead. All right, and then take the right wrist in the left hand, pull the body long, nice big breath in, and then start to fold over to the left, right? If the bind doesn't feel okay, even left hand down the side is fine. And if you're like me and you tend to collapse into the low back, lift the hip bones towards the low ribs to engage the front body here and lengthen the tailbone. Right, 2 more breaths. I'm actually going to soften my knees a little bit here. Good, and then a deeper bend in the knees, almost like a beginning of chair pose. I'm going to pull really far over to the left, and then slowly over the next 2 breaths, sweep the body all the way around out in front. Now I'm just going to pull both arms long. I've released the bind, navel to spine. Take another breath. And then all the way up to standing. Right hand wraps the left wrist. Nice big breath in, little soften in the knees if you need it. Now pull the body over to the right. Right? You can always release the right hand down that side. Right? Take care of the neck here. Deep breaths into that left lung. And then a deeper bend in the knees to draw yourself further to the right. And then slowly over the next 2 breaths, nice slow sweep forwards. Then release the arms, pull them long, right? Notice if it's a lot on the shoulders. It's okay for it to be a lot. Another breath. And this time we'll fold. Good. Halfway lift here, nice big breath in. And then plant the hands. We'll step back to plank. Right, nice slow step. Take a couple breaths here. Navel to spine, gaze out in front of the fingertips. Right, if you feel like moving and shifting, go for it here. Good, and then drop the right knee down. And we'll come into that table sort of shape on the right side, so the right knee's under the right hip. And then just anchor through the big toe side of the left foot, maybe even in the whole foot there. Right, a slow transition. Notice the sense of lengthening through the left side. Right, left arm straight up or even along the ear. Right, if you do want more and you're feeling a full side plank, you can take that right leg long as well. But bow the top side body. Let this sort of rounding happen. Good, another breath. And then tabletop pose. I come into cow pose to fill, heart lift, shoulder blades slide into the chest. And then exhale for cat pose, round the spine. Right, cow pose, nice big breath in. And then down dog, press up and back. Big breath here, in and out. One more time. Yeah, pull forwards to plank. It's strong, so you can roll through the body if you like. Take a breath in and out once you're here. And then a slow lower of the left knee. Okay, take a moment, dropping onto the big toe side of the right foot. You might need to shift the stance on that left shin. Right, reach the right arm straight up. Eventually it reaches along the ears. You breathe deep into the right side. Right, even here, draw navel to spine, a sense of strengthening in the front body. And if you want the full side plank, the left leg comes long. Wherever you are, though, bow the top side of the body here. Right, you can even let that right arm bend. 2 more breaths. Good, back to table, knees land. Good, inhale for cow pose. And then cat pose to empty. One more time, cow pose, big breath in. And then down dog, press up and back. Nice big breaths. Good. Now take the right leg up and back. My hips are square towards the earth, so I'm rotating my inner right thigh to the sky, pressing it out through the ball of the foot. Take a nice big breath in, and then right knee to nose. Plant the foot between the hands. Good. Drop your left knee down, low lunge. Lots of options here. Staying on the hands. Right, finding that front thigh if you'd like. A sense of lengthening the body up and away from that thigh. Good. Another breath here. And then right hand stays on the right thigh or the forearm. Right? Take your left arm up and overhead. You're going to reach long. You're going to reach way back and then over to the right. So you want a deep stretch in the left side abdomen here. Good. 2 more breaths. And coming up through center, plant the hands. And then we're going to twist here. So right hand can start on the right thigh, twisting towards the inner right thigh. If you want, strengthen the back leg, tuck the left toes. Lift the left knee without letting the hips lift high. A couple options here. Right arm could extend high. If you want the side body stretch on the second side, a little different though, extend the right arm forwards. Yeah, take 2 more big breaths in and out. Good. And then right hand lands inside the right foot. Left foot lands for warrior 2. Instead of lifting, fold towards the earth. The elbows bend. Right? Some of you already are going to have space to drop the forearms here. It's a big stretch, so pay attention to the body. Right? Just like anywhere we land, some of us are going to have more space, some of us less. Just depends on which part of the body we're working. Another breath. Good, and then come back up on the ball of that left foot. We'll step back, down dog. And take a few breaths in and out. Good, and then you can build your own flow here, so I'm not going to bother with chaturanga this morning. So you can stay in down dog. You could come down for some cat-cows. I'm going to pull forwards to plank. And then stay on the ball of feet, drop my hips, squeeze my glutes, lift my heart for an up dog here. Shoulders roll down and away from the ears, center of the chest lifts. And then on my next exhale, just pulling through the navel to come back to down dog. And then left leg rises, hips stay square, toes stay turned towards the earth. Nice big breath in. Exhale, left knee to nose. Planting the foot between the hands, dropping the right knee for low lunge, right? Staying on the hands here if you like, finding that front thigh, right? Toes can stay tucked under at the back of the mat, or you can drop onto the top of the foot. Pull the body long away from that left thigh. Take a couple breaths. And then that left forearm or left hand stays, right arm comes up. right? Pull way back and then reach over to the left. You want a deep stretch now in the left abdomen, along the left hip flexor, right abdomen and right hip flexor. Another breath. And then back up through center. And planting the hands to twist, right? You can stay on the right knee or lift, twisting towards that inner left thigh from the navel here, shoulder blade sliding down the back. Right? If you want, you can lift the back knee. Right? If you want, the left arm can rise, and you could choose side body stretch here by pulling the left hip back and left fingers forwards. Another big breath. Right, and then that left hand lands inside the left foot. Right foot drops parallel with the back of the mat. That's your warrior two. And then you stay on the hands. Maybe folding towards the earth, the elbows bend. Maybe forearms find the ground. So it just depends on the body on this side. Right, let it be a little bit different than that first side. 2 more breaths. Good, and then coming back through center, stepping back to down dog, right? Take a couple breaths, decide what you need here, right? You can drop the knees, coming into cow, maybe then cat, right? If you prefer to move through a regular flow, feel free here. And then back to down dog. Take a breath in and out. Right leg rises, nice big breath in. Right knee to nose. Plant the foot between the hands. Good, high lunge here, nice big draw up. Inner elbows reaching for the sky. Take 2 big breaths in and out. 1 more here. Good, just find a halfway fold towards the earth. Right, just a little flash of fire, navel to spine on the next exhale. And then plant the hands, drop the left knee down. When you come up to your lunge, bring the hands to prayer at the heart. Take a couple breaths. So we're going to twist from here. Hands can stay as they are to twist. Your left elbow will come to the outer right knee. Or you can bring right hand to the low back, left hand to the outer thigh. So take a breath in to lengthen if you aren't there already. And then exhale, twisting to the right. Right? You can hook the left elbow to that outer knee. Navel still twisting towards that inner right thigh. Use the breaths out. And the moment you're empty, to find a little bit of a deeper twist. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. If you want a little more work in that back leg, tuck the left toes, lift the knee. Last breath. Good. Unwind, plant the hands. Take the right hand inside the right foot. Right? That left knee lifts, left foot lands for warrior two, parallel with the back of the mat. Left arm can extend to the sky and then rise up for warrior two. Take a couple breaths here. Yeah, so think of trying to settle the shoulders over the hips. There's this sense of stacking here. Pull the fingers long, reach the crown a little closer to the sky. Take another breath. Good, now straighten the front leg. Little break for that front leg here. Left hand wraps the right wrist. Pull the body long and just start to reach back a little bit here. Right, keep this outer hip pressing down to stay strong in the legs. Take another breath. Good. Bend back into the front knee. 1 more breath here. And then we'll find side angle pose. So reach that front arm forwards just a little. Forearm can start on the front thigh. Left arm starts straight up. Eventually it reaches along the ear. And some of you here are going to be able to find the earth using that right shoulder to press into the right knee. Right? Press your left shoulder back in space. Think of turning heart towards the sky as you twist open. Anchor the peaky side of your left foot down even firmer. Use that anchor to reach even further through the right fingertips. Another breath in and out. Good. Coming inside of that right foot 1 more time. Drop the left knee. Those right toes are going to turn out on an angle here and you're just going to hang out. Nice deep stretch. You can stay on the hands. You can find the forearms. Just a few more breaths, right? A little more letting go here than ambition or strength. And then coming back to the hands, right? Tucking the left toes. We'll step back to down dog. And take a couple breaths. Right, if you want to flow, you could pull forwards to high plank. Right, without chaturanga, it's just a slow drop of the hips, glutes squeeze, heart lifts, roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Take the time for a good big breath in and out. And then down dog. Left leg rises, nice big breath in. Left knee to nose, plant the foot. High lunge here, nice big sweep to rise. Couple breaths here to build this sense of strength in the legs. Thighs are plugged into the center line. Another big breath in and out. Find just a halfway fold towards the earth. Another breath. And then drop the hands. Good. Right knee finds the earth. Take a moment. And then hands to prayer in the heart as you rise. And staying here. Right, getting ready for the twist, so lengthen the spine, big breath in. Yeah, twisting to the left, right? You can either use the hands at the low back and the outer knee, or the right elbow, that upper bicep or lower bicep, find that outer knee. Right, now you're twisting the heart towards the thumbs. You might lift that back knee. You need to be able to breathe though. Right, nothing changes within the self if the breath isn't moving. 2 more. Good. Slow unwind. Plant the hands, the right toes tuck, right knee lifts. You're planting that right foot for warrior 2, parallel with the back of the mat. And then slowly and strong, rise up. Right, take a moment, let it be fiery in that left thigh. Right, lengthen the spine, crown reaching towards the sky. And then arms up, right hand wraps that left wrist, straighten the front leg. Little relief here. Right, if you're really feeling the fire and you want to keep the front knee bent, go for it. Good, and now bend into the left knee. Reach back even further. Now warrior 2. Little reach forwards for side angle pose. Left forearm starts in the front thigh, the palms up. Right arm can start straight up, but eventually it extends forwards. Right, my right shoulder presses back in space. I anchor the right foot down firmly. Left knee ideally over that left ankle. If you can reach for the earth and use that as leverage to twist deeper here. Lengthen the crown forwards. Left shoulder shrugs away from the left ear. 2 more breaths. Good. And then when you release, hands inside the left foot, widen the stance, those left toes turn out. Landing on the hands or the forearms here, just a nice deep stretch. Couple more breaths. And then coming to the hands, if you were on the forearms, we'll step back to down dog, nice and strong. Again, staying in down dog or maybe pulling forwards to flow. So through high plank, you might come into a back bend. You can always release to the top of the feet with up dog. You can come to the earth for a cobra where the hips and quads stay grounded, maybe some of the abdomen. And then when you're ready, back to down dog. All right, last time through here, a chance to open a little deeper if you'd like. Right leg rises, big breath in. We're moving a little quicker. Exhale, knee to nose. Right foot lands. High lunge, big breath in. And then exhale, fold. We'll take a twist here. So keep lifted through that back leg. We're just here for a breath. Good. Right hand inside the right foot. Left foot for warrior two stance. Extend the arm up. We'll rise up to reverse. So reaching the right arm back. An extra breath here. You could sneak that left arm behind the back. Now side angle pose. Rise up and reach forwards. Right, find that length. Some of you are going to have space for half bind here. Maybe a full bind where you sneak the right arm under the right thigh. But notice I'm stacking the shoulders. Another breath. Good. Slow release to the earth inside that right foot. Make sure it's strong. Step back, down dog. And then decide. Pulling forwards to flow. Right, however you'd like. You can use chaturanga if you're craving that fire. And now left leg rises, big breath in. Last time through, knee to nose. Left foot lands for high lunge. Use a breath to rise. Gather the strength. Pull it up to the fingers. Then you fold on an exhale. Nice big twist. Stack those shoulders. Left hand lands inside the left foot. Rising up for warrior two, and then reverse. If you want, right arm sneaks behind the back. Now side angle pose. Rise up, reach forwards, forearm to thigh or hand inside that foot. Right? You can find a half bind with the right hand looking for the left thigh, or a full bind here. Left arm under the left thigh. Working to stack the shoulders. Right foot is still an anchor here. Another breath. Good. Plant the hands one last time. Stepping back, down dog. Right, if you want to flow, pull forwards to plank. Right, finding a back bend or coming through chaturanga, your low plank or to the earth. And when you're ready, down dog. Another breath. And then walk the hands back to meet the feet. Find a halfway lift to your big breath in. Nice slow fold, navel to spine. Soften the knees, lazy rise up to standing. Yeah, notice if you need to shake out the legs, the shoulders, take a couple breaths. Good, so a little bit of grounding here, a little bit of anchoring and settling down. We'll take the right foot sort of halfway forwards for pyramid. So you can think of like a half a mat distance, give or take. I'm pulling my right hip back. So my hips are square forwards. And there's a bit of width between my feet so that I have space to keep both feet fully anchored. Right? When you fold, think about instead of collapsing, lengthening through the collarbones. Right? So there's a sense of lengthening the front body without collapsing into a back bend. Right? Hands at the hips or the heart. Nice big breath in, lengthen. Little bend in the right knee will protect the back of that leg if you have tight hamstrings. And then start to fold. So notice my collarbones lengthen. I tuck my chin a little bit towards the chest. Look at the back. It's lengthened here. Right? If you have space, you fold deeper. So stomach draws towards the right thigh. My collarbones draw towards the toes, and my hands will land on the earth. Some of you here are going to have space in the depth of this pose to reach the hands way forwards and challenge deeply the back of that right leg. Right? For me, some of it just has to do with having really long arms. So don't try to get somewhere based on the idea of the shape. Notice the experience that's unfolding. Good. Couple more breaths here. Last one. Yeah. Now you're going to come into a halfway lift and bring the hands to prayer at the heart. Okay? If you want a little more firing up of prana energy in the body, you're going to extend the left arm forwards. And if you want even more, we got 3 more breaths. The right arm can come forwards too. Pull the spine long so the fingers pull forwards, right hip draws back. 2 more breaths. Last one. And then rise all the way up. And release the arms. Take a moment. Good. And now coming up on the ball of the left foot, we're just going to step forwards into tree pose. So the right leg stays anchored. You're going to come forwards. Right? If you don't want to balance, leave the right foot or the ball of the foot on the floor and just open the left knee to the side. If you're ready to balance, the foot comes to the calf, or you can help it up to the inner thigh. Right? Press this left knee back in space, a sense of widening across the front of the body. And if you'd like the extension here, interlace the hands, press the palms to the sky, and pull the body longer and longer. Right? Little tuck of the chin to the chest. So this sort of energetic lock that's going to keep all this energy in the body here. Navel to spine on the exhale. So you want this lifting in the pelvic floor every time you breathe out. 2 more breaths. Right? Softness and strength. Let the experience unfold. And then a slow release of the hands to the heart. Left knee can turn forwards and land. Arms can release. Take a couple breaths. You had a chance to notice what's unfolding here. Right? Separate from where you've been and where you're going is this moment. Right? The only place where the actual truth resides. Take another breath. And we'll do that second side. So left foot will come forwards, right? Pyramid pose, it's about half a length of the mat, give or take, right? Now my left hip draws up and back, right? In the front body, try to contain the ribs, right? Hands at the hips of the heart, big breath in, collarbones lengthen, exhale, fold. Right? Usually when I'm halfway, I hug this left hip up and back, lengthen, draw the shoulder blades a little closer in the back body, and then I keep building. Right? Eventually chin tucks towards the chest. If your upper back is really round, you need to come up a little bit here. And eventually hands find the earth. You could start on that left shin. Right? And some of you here may be space to pull the arms forwards. Keep the right heel anchored nice and firm. Stomach draws to left thigh, collarbones pull to left toes, tuck the chin to the chest. Slow, deep breaths here, especially the exhales, right? A chance to anchor and settle down. 2 more breaths. Good, and we'll find that little bit of strength here. So come into a halfway lift, right? Folded parallel with the earth. Hands start at the heart. You can stay as you breathe. Still keep the chin tucked towards the chest, or maybe right arm forwards for a little more strength. We got 3 more breaths if you want. Left arm forwards. Keep that right heel anchored. Last breath. Come all the way up. And then release the arms. Take a moment. And then getting ready for tree pose on the second side. So up on the ball of the right foot. Right? You step forwards. The right foot finds the inner right calf or the inner right thigh. Right? So this pose, right? You want to be able to open the hips, to lengthen the spine. If you want, interlace the hands, press the palms away from you. Pull the crown of the head higher. Little lift to the back of the head so the chin drops. Right? Don't worry about perfection. Worry about who you become in the unfolding, right? The struggle, the strength, especially if you stumble or fall, right? Who do you become in the aftermath of all that? 2 more breaths. And then a slow release, hands to the heart. Try to make it steady, may or may not work out. Good. Back to the top of the mat. One last bit of movement before we find the earth for our last 2 stretches here. Arms up, big breath in. Exhale, fold forwards. Take a halfway lift, long spine. And then plant the hands for plank. Good. Take a big breath in. And then halfway lower or all the way to the earth, right? From that halfway back into up dog, or if you're feeling a deeper back bend, you come to the ground for cobra, right? Elbows stay bent. Shoulders slide away from the ears. Whatever back bend you've chosen, take 2 more big breaths in and out. Good. Slow release to the earth if you're on the ground. We're going back to down dog one last time. Low to high plank maybe from the earth. And then down dog. 2 big breaths in and out. Good. Drop the knees for child's pose. Knees could be as wide as mat width, big toes touching. Slow settle down, let the forehead land. And then walk both hands off the mat to the left. Try to keep a shoulder distance between the hands and keep the head equally between them here. Big breaths into the right side, right lung expands. And then back through center and over to the left. Same thing, try to keep the hands wide, head lands in between the biceps, same distance on either side. Big breaths into the left lung. Last breath here. And back through center, take a breath in and out. And then slowly rise up to a seat. Good. We'll come into a seat. Legs can come long out in front. Take a moment. So you want the spine long. You want a sense of the low back lifted here. So if you're finding you're sort of collapsing back, maybe sit up on a blanket or a couple pillows. All right, when you fold, you want to be able to tip forwards from here, not try to reach out of the pelvis collapsing back. So we can start with janu sirsasana, or bringing the left foot to the inner right thigh, or if you have it in your practice, half lotus. So you bring the pinky edge side of the left foot into the right hip crease for half lotus, right? If you're in half lotus, it is possible to take that left hand behind the back and to find the left foot. Right? Don't overthink it. Don't risk injuring that knee. Just not worrying about ambition here. So if you have the left foot at the inner thigh, that's great, right? Take a breath in to lengthen. Think of squaring the body towards that extended foot, and you're going to fold forwards from here. Stomach to right thigh, collarbones to toes. Right? If you have the bind, you get to sort of stretch the shoulder deeper here along that left side. A nice stretch to that right hamstring. Good. Take another big breath in and out. And then slowly restacking the spine. If you had half lotus, bring your left foot to that inner thigh. And just move the body sort of forwards a little bit between the space of the legs. And then you're going to let your right arm or right elbow drop inside the right knee. Right? And you can leave the right hand on the earth, or you can sort of take it inside that foot. Right? And you're going to start to twist the heart to the sky. It's like that side angle pose we did earlier. Right? And the left hand can either find the low back, so I'll press mine into the low back a lot of the time, or you can extend the left arm along the left ear. Right? Eventually that right arm gets long enough that you can flip the palm towards the big toe side of that foot, and eventually some of you, this left hand will find the pinky edge side of the right foot. So, just breathing here. As long as you're getting a nice big stretch through the left side body, it really doesn't matter. So you can see from the side, I just press my left hand into the low back. Right, nice big breaths here. Another breath. And then coming up through center. All right, take a few moments here. So those lateral stretches, side body are pretty big, lots of energy moving. Just take a few breaths, let the chin drop to the chest. Notice how it feels. Sometimes it feels like the body's being rocked or moved from the inside. tingling or an aliveness shows up. Good. So second side of that stretch, first coming into janu sirsasana, either right foot at that inner left thigh, or if you have it, half lotus. Right side of that foot, or pinky side of the right foot comes to the inner hip crease. You can fold from here. Some of you are going to have space to get the foot with the right hand. You can see on that side I don't have as much space. Needed a little help. Big breath to lengthen the body, and you're going to fold forwards, right? So just like we did standing up, folds are about lengthening front and back body, right? Stomach draws forwards, collarbones lengthen forwards, and eventually tucking chin to the chest, right? If you have the bind, you're drawing the right shoulder forwards here. A few more breaths. And if you're in that janu sirsasana shape, right, you want this sense of the back body being long. So instead of collapse, slide the shoulder blades into the heart and pull forwards from there. Yeah, and then a slow rise up. I'm going to take a moment. And then the body sort of lines up between the space of the legs. Little walk forwards here. Take a breath or two. And you can actually stay, but eventually maybe twisting open a little bit here. So my left elbow drops towards the earth inside the left knee. May or may not be close to the ground. Right? You can start to twist the heart open. It's about the right side length here. So right hand to the low back as you twist open, but also fold towards the earth along the left side. All right, some of you are going to have space to find that big toe side of the left foot. So I flip my palm down, or palm back, thumb down, and then grab the big toe side of the foot. Little leverage. Some of you are going to have space here to extend the right arm over the ear. And the reach, just like in side angle, helps you to twist open towards the sky. Eventually, maybe, deep enough breaths to find the pinky edge side of that foot. Take a few more breaths. And then a slow rise up. Again, little pause. Maybe close the eyes. And acknowledging what's going on beyond the body. And so we are doing physical poses, but they are actually a pathway to something more. Can you glimpse it, right? Every time the body lights up with awareness and energy moving, right? What do you notice? Right? Beyond the physical, beyond the obvious. And then just to fold forwards to find a little equanimity. So I like to bend my knees deep with these last folds, right? We're just kind of settling down. Legs could be straight if you want one last bit of work through the hamstrings, that's fine. I'm just gonna pull my front body, pressing it into the thighs and wrap my arms around the back of my legs, right? Bottom of the feet on the earth or heels flexed. And now I might press the heels away, finding a little bit of length here. 5 breaths, the exhales get a beat longer each and every time. Couple more still. And then restacking the spine. Finding here an easy seat. So if you're like me, you might want to sit up on like a little pillow or a cushion. You want the sense of the hips above the knees. Right? Easy cross-legged seat is fine as well. And just a few breaths to arrive. Maybe a chance to notice how the fold kind of shifted things a little bit more. We're just going to find a couple minutes of breath here. And the thing about using breath as a tool or a vehicle for change is the beautiful thing is that it works, or it's just as powerful if you visualize it. So if it's not working in the body, just close the eyes and visualize what I'm cueing here. And we're just going to do a little bit of alternate nostril breathing. You want to think of it almost like flossing. So it goes up and in one nostril and then back and forth again. And you can pause with the lungs full and empty for a moment, but it's really not necessary this morning if you're not feeling it. This breath is about building a little bit of balance and equanimity in both sides of the body here. So you're going to cover or place the thumb over the right nostril, right? The ring finger goes over the left. Right? Take a big breath in and empty completely. Cover the right nostril, inhale through the left. Cover the left, exhale through the right. Inhale right. Exhale left. So a little slower. Inhale left. Exhale right. Make sure the chin isn't lifted. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Out right. In right. Out left. Even slower now. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the right. Out through the left. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the right. Out through the left. Last round, slowest yet. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the right. Out through the left. Release the hand. Full breath in. Full breath out. Or maybe you notice where the awareness arrives. Center of the mind, in the heart, down in the abdomen. Now you can stay and sit. Right, a great time after that breath for meditation. Might also make sense to come down to the back body for Shavasana, right? Place and space for the body to integrate, to absorb. Right? Don't rush. Take your time. Indulge the pause, what the body, mind, and breath have to offer. And only when you're ready do you move back into the waking world. And even that transition is a chance to savor. Chance to notice who you are in the space between. And whatever you choose, I hope this practice offered you something today. Thank you, all of you, for joining me. And stay as long as you'd like. And then enjoy the rest of your day.